Welcome to the My Reader Minutes. For all that are new here, welcome. To all of my new subscribers, thank you for joining me on my journey. Before we get started, can you just like the video, please, as you enter the building? Thank you. Um, I want to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 16, episode 7. And I'm not probably going to bounce around because I'm going by sheer memory. Didn't really take any notes. I'm away on vacation, so this is why you're getting this dumb virtual background. This is the only one that I kind of like that didn't look like it was staged. It kind of looks like in my house a little bit, but not. Anywho, um, let me proceed. Okay, so the first scene is Mike and Britt. And mind you, Britt is annoying to me. I'm just looking at that girl with another set of eyes. It's like I don't know if I like you for real. I've been trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but she's really trifling. But anyway, her and Mike are car shopping. You see her pull up, and evidently I don't guess they're looking at just cars, and you see her sitting in a white Ferrari, very nice car. But she talks to the salesman. She was like, "Is this in my price range?" And the guy said, "Yes, ma'am." And say, "Oh, wow, Mike, look, it's not just enough room." And she sticks her front leg, sticks it straight up. That's a trifling girl. He's like, put your leg down. He was disgusted. He's like, "Put your leg down." Her thing was she made a comment. She was like, "Well, if you're not gonna be able to F in the car, there's no need to buy it." Whose philosophy is that? Like, what? Girl. So then they cut over to Angela. Angela, I guess is expecting Drew. Drew comes over. And right away, Angela gets right into it. And she said, I talked to Marcus Jordan. And he says, y'all are not cousins. And Drew was like, well, when I talked to my mom, she said, well, we could be cousins. Drew, how old are you and you being a clown? Like, who lies about something like that? Was like, well, my mom seems to suspect that we are related some kind of way. Plus, if you had really been related to Michael Jordan, we probably would have heard about it way before. I think this is Drew's 3rd season. We would have heard about it way before now. So that was an inclination to me that she was probably lying from the jump. But the fact that Angela brought it to her and said, Drew, I checked. He said y'all not related. So in Angela's confession, she basically was like, I was really hoping that Drew wasn't lying. Girl, you got a lot of hoping to do because that's all Drew do is lie. Sorry. So they cut over to Kelly. Kelly has invited the girls over to her house. Cynthia arrives first, then it's Portia, then it's Shamia. Um, Portia seems to look down at the dog, and the dog is like, "Oh my goodness!" She said, "Kelly, what have you done to this dog?" Because the dog is pink. It's got earrings in his ears. Got a whole bunch. The dog's got a lot going on. I don't know. Kelly gives this weird explanation about how somebody stole the dog at one time, and they got him back through Craigslist, and they vowed that they would never lose that dog again. But what they got to do with you putting all that crap on that dog? But anyway, her excuse was that the dye was vegan and animal cruelty free, which makes it better, I guess. I don't know. I didn't like it. But I looked at the dog when they first started showing it, and when I saw the earrings in his ear, and he's just had a little bit too much going on. I didn't like it. I feel like that was a bit much. But I know people that have done that before, and it's just ridiculous. I'm just saying, let a dog be a dog. They're not human. Anywho, so Portia asked about the peace brunch. I don't know which one said it, but it was either Kelly or Shamia. They said, "Oh, it was horrible." And I guess they fill her in on what was transpiring between Angela and Britt and how Britt was going off about Kenya. and doesn't think that anybody's there for her. Britt, like again, I'm going to say this in every episode. Britt is a brat, and I'm tired of her. Her thing was, I think they did like a flashback reel to the breakfast brunch, and her and Angela are going back and forth. And I guess she felt like Angela was coming for her. She was like, Angela was coming for my career. Like, girl, she asked you on what cause did your license get expired? How's that coming for your career? She didn't say nothing. And that's what I'm saying about Britt. Britt is a brat. I don't know if I like her because she's making up stuff on people. And of course, her husband never says anything. He just nods and says, mm-hmm. And she'd be like, and because she's, I was the one that was publicly humiliated, and I'm like, oh my God. So she comes across and she goes, Angela's just not a girl's girl. She said, what if she like it if I bring up some stuff about, what I've heard about her? So the confessional people asked her, well, what have you heard about Angela? And she said, and then she, without any hesitation, she says, she brings up that Charles may have had a baby on her. Like, why are you doing that without even knowing how true it is? And it might be, you know what I'm saying? How you just gonna blurt that out there? Britt is mean and she's targeting Angela, and Angela better get it straight. Angela better get it straight because Britt is horrible. I don't like her. She's making it easy not to like her. So they pan back to Britt and Mike, and Britt is saying she's ready for peace. Really? Because I can't tell. So Angela and Drew are still talking. She wants her to come to Nashville. She talks about the call that her and Portia had, and it was a Zoom call. And she basically said that Portia didn't say no. She said the only thing she said to her was, well, she said something about I think she said where's my Chicago sister. Portia was being funny about, oh, get ready to lose the call, get ready to lose the call. So Angela said, well, she didn't say no. She just said she didn't lose the call. And so Angela was like, well, if I can be around Britt, you can be around Portia. So and so Drew is basically saying, well, I'd feel more comfortable if Portia invited me. I don't want her to be uncomfortable or whatever. So I don't know. Angela was taking it home like she really want her there. So Drew and Britt meet up. They talk about the peace brunch again. She wants to know why everybody was so concerned about Kenya and why they all had reached out to her. She said, I was the one that was publicly humiliated. Where's my support? Me, 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 me. It's all about me. Talk about brat. I can't get with her. She got to go. Britt's got to go, y'all. I'm sorry. And then they flash back to the brunch and she's like, I'm the one that's here. She's not. Read the room. I think she was saying that to Angela. So then Drew asks Britt, has she ever did PORN before? And Britt starts to stuttering and spitting and stuff like she said, I can't talk. Yeah, okay. She says, I did not do any PORN. She said, me and my boyfriend at the time did some webcam for about a week. And that was pretty much it was too. She said, I didn't do any intercourse, I didn't do anything. No, but she was giving fellatio. What difference does it make? You have to do her thing was it wasn't all the way, I guess, maybe. Is that what she was trying to convey? But she was giving fellatio. That's enough. Ugh. So I think Drew is a liar because when she asked her that, can't remember how the dialogue went, but she made it seem like the pictures that she saw, she said, oh, I think what's her name? Um Britt came back to Drew and wanted to know if she was came back and said she knew who was in the video or in the picture. And so Drew was like, yeah, because I think I recognized somebody that was in the picture. But I thought it was only a picture of Britt giving fellatio. If that was the case, do you know what someone's penis looks like? Because I wouldn't think you had the face, or was it? Maybe the face was on there. I don't know. It gave me the impression um it was just Britt and the penis, right? So and based on how Britt answered, she said, "Well, why? Because you suck the same pee." These girls, I said, Drew be lying. I don't even trust that she even knows who else is in the video. Drew is a liar. I have to be with Portia on that one. Drew's a liar. And she says stuff to make herself relevant. And it's not working. She's a clown. Drew and Ralph have a court date. Court is Drew is nervous. Ralph is very nervous because he thinks this is his last hurrah in the basement. And he wants to stay, evidently, because he says, so somebody said, you getting put out of a home that you pay all the bills for? He's like, yeah. So they go to court. They show how many minutes they took in court, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever. You come back out. Drew's disappointed. Ralph is elated because he's asked the judge for whatever reason to unseal the documents. He's got a new lawyer. This is the third lawyer. And when the lawyer was going over his stuff, she was like, this is a money grab. This ain't nothing but a money grab. She playing games. And I was like, okay. This is a money grab. So they go into court and she walks in there real confident, like, and evidently she got the judge to grant more time in the basement for Ralph. But he's asked for the documents to be unsealed. And I don't know, he's really happy about it, but his thing is, oh, we gotta do this, what we gotta do. But according to the storyline, Ralph still hasn't turned over any financial documents. So it doesn't make any sense why he's not doing his part. Like, I don't get it. But the court works like that. You be thinking you really got a leg to stand on, and the court will switch that law around, and you be the one looking crazy. I don't know. People be just doing the most. So the girls make it to Nashville. That was the next scene. Angela, of course, Mr. Flight. They arrive at the Airbnb, and they are greeted by, I guess, a concierge or a guy dressed up in a cowboy suit with just a vest on, no shirt underneath, and he's got drinks for them as they arrive. They take a tour of the house, and Portia comes upon the basement and said, "Drew, you down there?" Or something like that. I'm like, that's stupid. Anyway, Angela arrives as they're sitting down eating their meal that the chef prepared them. She gives everybody a hug in the room. Britt looks at her like, ugh, like Angela's here. But as soon as Angela gets over there to her, she's like, hey, she's hugging. Phony. So she sits down and they're talking. And I think Kelly says, I got to see how long my stylist is going to be because he's meeting here. We got a whole bunch of looks. And Britt tells the story about how they ran into Angela in some store. I guess they were shopping or whatever. And I want to say is right after, I guess, Britt must have got some more procedures done. But she said that she didn't look herself. She was in the store with these granny looking glasses on. And she said when they saw her, she almost looked like she was trying to hide. But to talk to Angela was like, I was very courteous to them. I was glad to see them or whatever. Much love or whatever. And so Angela goes on to say that she invited Drew. So everybody's looking at her like, what? And Portia was like, why would you invite Drew? And Shamia was like, yeah, why would you invite Drew? That's crazy. Why? And then, of course, in Shamia's confessional, she was like, who invites someone to a party where, I don't know if she said that or Portia said it, but someone who invites someone to a party that they're not invited to. And I think Portia said, yeah, who invites someone that someone ain't messing with? She's like, that's messy. She said, I used to think Angela was quiet, but no, she's something else. So I think Angela wants them to make amends or whatever. And I want to say she said that Portia said, or somebody said they could be around Drew, or they could be around her or whatever. It didn't make any difference to them or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if I thought that was Portia that said that. But anywho, um, Portia wasn't really feeling that. She was like kind of dragging Angela in her confessional. And so they all kind of dispersed and they're getting dressed, getting their glam on so they can go out on a night of the town. So they have a party bus. They all ride this party bus and they are getting it in. They are showing their behinds, their natural born behinds on this party bus. They arrive to the restaurant. Lauren is there, Manetta is there, and there's two other ladies there, but I can't remember. She said their names, but I don't know who they are. And she said, these are my girls or whatever. So they greet Portia. She got this sachet to go around her. It's her birthday. And they get back on the party bus, it looks like, and then they go somewhere else to bull riding. They actually go bull riding. And then they calculate how long each of the peach holders stayed on the bull. And I think Shamia won by 55 seconds, 51 seconds, something like that. Anyway, she said, you could just add bull riding to my list. I can do anything. I said, I know that's right, rich girl. So, so after that, they go to dinner. They go to have dinner. They're all sitting around talking. And Angela brings up again about Drew coming. And I want to say this got to be production because I can't imagine these ladies are very persistent and everything. So again, she brings up the fact that she asked Drew to come, and Portia was like, why would you do that? She said, you up there making me invite people, making me accept people, and Angela was like, no, because that makes it sound like I'm bullying, and I'm not bullying. Oh, but you are, Angela, because it's not your trip. Okay, it's not your trip, and you need to let Portia run it how she wants to run it. Now, if she don't want Drew there, then Drew shouldn't be coming. Meanwhile, they pan over back to Drew. Now, Drew is excited because they just got a record deal, and it's her sister Allison, and some other person. I don't know if it was a man or a woman, but they are excited. They're at Dennis's establishment. I don't know. He's at a hookah bar. Does he have a hookah bar or hookah place or whatever? Anyway, they're at his establishment. They're in, I guess, like their own section, maybe probably VIP. And he sends over a bottle, or let's have a bottle. I think he has whiskey that he bottles up or whatever. So yeah, she's there with Dennis. And it seems, and the vibe of that made me think girlfriend, boyfriend, because your boyfriend going to set you up. Now, mind you, she's also his client. So I think you would do the same thing for your client too. Just saying. Now, if they just got a record deal and Dennis has something to do with it, then maybe that's his way of saying congratulations. You know what I mean? And it could have been intimate, and then it didn't really have to be. So the jury's still out with what's going on with Drew and Dennis. But with the girls being at the dinner, that's how it goes off. And then it picks up next week with, I guess, Drew arriving at some point and her and Portia getting it. Well, not really getting into it, but having some words, and then, she wants to leave or because she don't feel comfortable. Because she asked Portia, do you mind me being here? And Portia, oh my gosh, did she did she rehearse this? Because I mean, it was chilling the way she said it. Because she was like, "Do you mind me staying here?" She said, "You straight." Cold. Talk about cold. That was almost chilling, right? Yeah, so that was basically it. I think this was a filler episode because it really wasn't a lot going on. But yeah. What you think? Was that rude of Angela to um was that rude of Angela to invite somebody that you don't mess with? I mean, I would hate for my sister to invite someone that she know I don't get along with on my day. I would feel some way about it. So Angela, I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know what she's upon. Now, it would be one thing if they were cordial and she was, dealing with her or working with her on some level or whatever, but they're not. They're not. So, anywho, tell me what y'all think. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, I apologize for the virtualness. I need to buy a green screen. We'll put something green behind me. Do I have a green sheet? I don't know if I do or not. But anyway, it's all good. And until next time, everyone be blessed. Peace.